New Year's, that time of the year when we are all excited about fresh start, ready to take on new challenges, make something great with the year ahead. I was too. I had big plans. Ready to work on my videos, create exciting new designs, build beautiful things. But when I sat down to work, I froze. I couldn't bring myself to do anything. I didn't feel like designing. My next video was due in a few days, but I didn't even start the edit. And I definitely didn't feel like building anything. I was in the funk. It's like my creative juices stopped flowing and I had no idea how to get them back. Normally, when I don't feel inspired to work on my projects, I tend to just hang around my shop, do something, anything, to get the momentum going. So that's what I did. It's kind of like going to the gym. Some days you just don't want to go, but once you're there, you start moving. So I cleaned and rearranged things, and then cleaned some more. I was hoping that having this space cleaned up will give me some ideas for the design, because I still didn't figure out how to change things in this part of the workshop. This time though, it didn't work. Few days went by and nothing changed. I was getting desperate. But then, it hit me. Tennis. That's the thing that's gonna get me out of this funk. Let me explain. I became obsessed with it 2 years ago. I started following the tournaments, going to watch the games live, and most importantly, I started to play myself. 3 times a week, without a fail. Tennis was that one thing that always got me moving no matter how I felt, and I realized I could use it to my advantage. You see, I've been wanting to build tennis wall for a while now. Something I can practice on anytime, not only when the court and my hitting partner are available. You might wonder why I don't just use one of the existing walls in the house. Well, this one has stone finish. This one has a cover that is too low, and I already broke one lamp. Only flat space in the house is a garage door, but I don't think that's gonna work. So the only solution was to build one from the scratch, and for months now I've been saying I need to do just that. But somehow this project never got to the top of my priority list. That is until now. In the middle of the creative funk, building the tennis wall seemed like the only thing I could muster enough energy for. I grabbed some 4x4s, cut them down in smaller pieces, and started building the frame. Now, I wasn't in the mood to do this perfectly. I didn't even bother to clean up the wood or square the cuts. I just made rough cuts and started putting the frame together. I had some small frames left over from when I disassembled a shelf in my workshop, so I decided to use it too. I wanted the wall to have slight angle, so I cut the pieces at 5-degree tilt before attaching them to the frame. I knew I wanted this wall to be portable, so I dug through my box of random wheels and found some casters to attach to the bottom. It was a bit wobbly, so I added braces for extra structural support. Then it was time for MDF. At first I went a little too deep with the countersink holes, but honestly it didn't matter. This wall didn't need to be pretty. It needed to be functional. By the time it was getting dark, I'd done as much work as I could for the day. I moved the wall out of the way and was about to head back inside when I thought, why not bounce a few balls off of it? And you know what? It worked. It wasn't anything fancy, but it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And somehow, just hitting few balls against it lifted my mood. I couldn't believe it took only few hours of going through the motions to finish something I've been putting off for so long. It was simple. It almost felt like it wasn't worth the effort. But once it was done, the impact was huge. Next day, not only did I go back and painted it to make it look prettier, but I also started working on a new project. Sometimes our motivation may not be there, but that's okay. Sometimes just going through the motions is enough.